Rising Sun, Jiddu Krishnamurti. I see what human beings have done, which is move from biological to psychological, and there they have invented this idea that eventually you will come to God. When a human being sees the falseness of it, actually, not theoretically, then it's finished. Through collective memories, through evolution, the past to the present, we have arrived at this present stage of human evolution. Do we go along the same path, accumulating memories not only in the technological world, but also in the psychological area? The action brought about by the response of self-preservation, which is natural intelligence, is instantaneous, and it is also cultivated unconsciously or consciously. Similarly, we have recorded psychological preservation. The fear of not recording and the knowledge of that gives a central feeling that you must preserve yourself, and from that you act. Psychologically, we are hurt, and we are asking what is hurt, and is it an image that you have built about yourself that is hurt? And when that image is questioned, that image gets hurt. Wherever there is psychological time that divides, there must be conflict. In acquiring a skill, one becomes lonely, and out of that loneliness you do various kinds of activities and you become neurotic. The past modifying itself through today continues as tomorrow, so tomorrow is now. If there is no deep revolution in the psyche, tomorrow will be the same. If you give complete attention, there is no time, there is no wastage of energy. Imagination builds the image of the self, and thought then functions within its shadows. From this self-concept grows the conflict between what is and what should be, the conflict in duality. You have cultivated the capacity to have great memory. When you have only that capacity, you become mechanical, repeating what you have recorded as memory. So you are never free to observe, so you begin to learn how to learn. There will be conflict only as long as there is the observer and the observed, which is what is. That observer creates a space in consciousness. This space in consciousness is always limited because there is always the observer, and that observer is obviously memory, the accumulation of experience, which has been put together by time both chronologically and psychologically. Look at everything as though for the first time you're looking at the world. That observation is to watch oneself, never allowing a single thought to escape without watching it. Observing has no time. The other is caught in time. Thought creates the time. If there is self-awareness from the beginning, taking away the attachment is no longer the sorrow which has brought about through attachment. There's a quality of mind that being free is able to perceive that which is eternal. The self is very strong in most of us, sleeping or waking. It is ever alert, always strengthening itself. But when there is an awareness of the self and a realization that all its activities, however subtle, must always lead to conflict and pain, then the craving for certainty, for self-continuance comes to an end. In comparison with you, I become dull. If I don't compare with you, am I dull? I am what I am. I can move from there, but if I am always comparing myself with you, I become exhausted, fighting you, jealous of you. When you are concerned about yourself, you build a wall around yourself. That wall created by your fears is going to separate you from another. It's our earth, but we have made ourselves and the earth into a hideous place. The unconscious is the inheritance, the memories of man. The conscious is all the recent covering, education, technology. The conscious mind has often the intimations of the unconscious and is being guided by the unconscious. It is one unitary movement. When the brain is free of that psychological knowledge, then the brain is the mind, because the mind is infinite. Concentration implies resistance, whereas in attention there is no form of resistance. Resistance arises when there is fear. When you give attention, there is no entity who attends. When the brain is aware of how inattentive it is, then that very awareness of inattention becomes attention.